Hi there, my name is J. Richard Varvel, and I'm coming to you live today for the JRV Morning Show. Good morning and welcome to the show. I want to just take this special moment to welcome you into this beautiful Monday morning. It's a beautiful day here in Bakersfield. It is beginning to heat up, and I, just like usual, like to come out and get outside before the heat of the day really sets in. And of course, Hart Park always jumps out at me. And especially at a time where I am processing and integrating all that is going on in my life. So let me just get right into business and tell you about my exciting weekend. So at first it started off with First Friday. I was set up out in front of beautiful Sequence, and I had a chance to meet a lot of beautiful people out there. Many people had a chance to test out my spray. I sold a few bottles, and it was fantastic. And then after I was finished with having my table set up, I went over to the Bakersfield Skate Company, and they had some live music, some really cool live bands, and so I really enjoyed that. I was hanging out with some of my friends and fellow watchers of the show, and so that was a lot of fun. Enjoyed that very much. And then Saturday was the Mars Collective Customer Appreciation Day. And once again, I have a habit of meeting fantastic, wonderful people on those events. Not only the other entrepreneurs that are selling and vending their products, but also the customers that come through. So it's always a fantastic time. I always enjoy it. And Saturday was no different. And then Saturday evening, I went out to Fieldchella. Earl and Sean told me about it. They had gone to the one that was a couple months ago. At least I think it was a couple months ago, maybe only a month and a half or so. And they said it was awesome then, and so I was super excited to be able to go out this time. And I got a little bit turned around on my way out there and took the opportunity to take some pictures of the moon, and that is the picture that I posted that had that really awesome, very Merkaba-like pattern. And I didn't have any filter, I didn't do anything, it just literally was showing up in my camera that way, and I was able to snap a shot. So really awesome picture there, and see what magic comes through for you. So the bands were awesome, the experience was amazing, everybody was in a great mood, everybody was very uplifted and having a great time under the stars. And we were way out in the hills, way out away from the city of Bakersfield. And it just felt so good to be out in Mother Nature, to be doing it together, coming together as a community. So much fun there, so awesome. I would highly recommend it next time it comes up, and it's going to happen. And I'll make sure I post about it as well when I hear. And then Sunday, I went to Los Angeles to meet up with my friend Heidi. She was in town with her friend Matt. Heidi is from Asheville, North Carolina. Or not from, but at least living there now. And then her friend Matt, I believe, is either from Jersey or New York. I'm not sure. But anyways, they both came from the East Coast. They were coming for an event here in Los Angeles, and they had some free time on Sunday, so I was able to meet up with them, and we ended up going to the Central Los Angeles Library, which is in downtown LA. And wow, I had been there before because I had house sat from my boss, and he had shown me a path that he would take his dog, this beautiful garden that was around the library. And when he showed it to me, I didn't know what I was seeing at the time. But going back yesterday, I realized how many symbols and how much energy was being radiated out from that library. And so I will attach some pictures, some awesome pictures. So I'll get to the point. For the library, there's this monolith that has a pyramid shape at the top, and at the top of the pyramid on every face is a tiled, almost like a Spanish beautiful style sun. And then sticking out of the top of the pyramid is a very much like Lady Liberty's hand with a torch coming out of the top. And then all around the gardens are these beautiful fountains with Masonic inscriptions, and so I'll show you those pictures, as well as there was on the corner, like rose quartz was attached to the corner of this facade, and then these equations were next to it. So I thought that was fascinating. And then when you look at the monolith from another direction, there's a fountain and then these very Egyptian-like statues that are on the front. And so really a lot of awesome architecture, as well as symbolism, as well as energy. And that was before we went inside, and I had never gone inside myself. And I'm so glad that they were open. We literally caught them the last 5 minutes that they were open. And so we went inside, and we were able to, because the first floor just felt like old, heavy energy, dense. You know, you could tell it was a government building. And then we went up to the second floor and entered into this rotunda. And as soon as we went into this rotunda, it was like, whoa, we all were like, whoa. I mean, we literally all gasped, and we were both all looked at each other like, do you feel what I'm feeling? Because this is, whoa. I mean, it was like we were sucked into another kind of energy. And then I looked up, and there was this sun that was up at the ceiling, and then I realized we were right underneath this pyramid that was at the top of, you know, that you could see from outside. But we were on the inside, where the pyramid energy was literally whirling around, and we stepped into that energy, and oh my goodness, it was something to behold. So I would highly recommend, if you live in Los Angeles, making a point to go to the Central Library and visit the gardens. I will post pictures, as well as go inside, go into that room and see what you feel there as well. I would love to hear your feedback. And if you live in Bakersfield and the surrounding areas up north, I highly recommend it next time you're in Los Angeles to check out the library. I mean, I know it's kind of crazy to think that, oh wow, something so cool is at the library, but really, something so cool is at the library. So anyhow, that wrapped up my weekend. It was super fantastic and fabulous, and like a whirlwind, I'm back here. It's Monday morning, and I just want to take this opportunity to welcome you all to the show. Everybody joining in live, as well as all of those in the archive. I so appreciate all of you. So let's get into the card reading of the day. So let's change camera directions here. I'm going to take a seat. I'm right here by a bench. All right. So, card of the day. Let's get to it. I got my deck. Clearing the deck. I'm going to shuffle here on the table since I got a table surface here. Alright, so let's cut the deck. Woo! On target. On target is the card of today. Awesome. Okay, so on target. So the first thing that comes to mind is synchronicity. And that when we really look at how this life unfolds, it's a Reader's Digest version here of Albert Einstein's quote, it's either all a miracle or none of it's a miracle. And so also in the same light, in the same vein, talking about the garbage heap and flower garden whole analogy, which do we choose to pay attention to? Which do we choose to engage? How do we choose to look at the situations that are in front of us? Do we look at them as if we've just been shit on? Or do we go in and enjoy the flower garden that we have created for ourselves and see it as such, and then continue to move about from there? So on target, the card again of the day, I see for the collective that nothing is out of place, nothing is wrong. So even though we are in the midst of quite a bit of chaos out in the midst of the quote-unquote real world, the mass conscious world, everything is a-okay when it comes down to it. Everything is unfolding moment to moment, just as it is supposed to. There is we're all wound together in this experience, and so there is this certain flow. Woo, cards just flew. Hang on. Speaking of speaking of flow, and the cards start flying. Ah. All right. Woo. I'm getting a low battery here. Okay, so good morning, welcome to the show, by the way. Just got a little breezy here. Anyhow, so we're all on target. We're all in this unfolding together, even though we have our own role, our own path within that unfolding. And our unfolding doesn't have to have anything to do with anybody else, if that makes sense. Good morning, Maddie. And Matt speaking, I was telling everybody when I was starting the show about the awesome time at the Mars Collective, excuse me, and how awesome it was and how many amazing people that I met, and you were one of the ones that I was thinking of. So thank you so much for tuning in and joining me this morning. And so we're right on target. We are all right where we're supposed to be, doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing. There isn't anything that we need to per se change in this moment. And it's really honoring ourselves right where we're at, honoring where we have gotten ourselves. We have all traveled and traversed this earthly realm, and it has not always been easy. It has not always come easy, and more often than not, there's a lot of stretching that happens, a lot of challenging experiences that happen to us, especially those that are coded to wake up early. Again, not better or worse, just we're all in a different time, and so it can get a little dicey. So I'm really glad that we have this community, and Maddie and all those that are now tuning in live. I appreciate all of you and what we're able to do with one another and how we're able to support one another. And I feel like that is the name of the game as we go forward, is to support and love one another in what we're doing, honoring that each one of us has our own unique perspective and way of going about it, and yet we can still support one another even if we don't necessarily understand. Rachel says, morning, I am in a challenging moment today. Well, you know that I love and support you always, and thank you for tuning in and taking this moment to join in with us, because I trust that during the meditation we're all going to have an opportunity to really go deep within ourselves, have that magical moment so we can continue on and face whatever challenges come up, and wield our magical power I just see us being able to. We might need to move because I see a grass, or not a grass mower, oh yeah, a mower, but it's more like a tractor mower. So it's going to be very loud if he really starts mowing the grass. Anyhow, so on target, we're doing it, we're being it, and it really comes down to owning our power, owning who we really are in this world, and doing it unapologetically, doing it bravely and courageously. And yes, so Rachel, we're here, let's do this together. I support you, I love you. And Maddie says, it was great meeting you too. I've been looking forward to watching. So again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me this morning. All right, so let's get into the 11:11 meditation. All right, so he's gonna be mowing the grass. So let's, all right, so I'm gonna just jump in the car. We're just gonna take a quick drive to the other side of the park. That way we'll have a little bit of a quiet experience for the meditation. So thank you for going with me here and being willing to go with me on this adventure this morning. I know, because I'm all about going deeper with the noise and distractions, but I'm also not interested in breathing in all the grass and dust. All right, woo, here we go, folks. All right, here we go. Okay. So how was everybody else's weekend? I'd love to hear what you all were up to and what you experienced. I get the impression that all of us are really coming into these different kinds of magical moments, not only the challenging ones, but the ones that can be unexpectedly awesome as well. And kind of the juxtaposition of both of these kinds of experiencing starting to happen more and more often simultaneously. And again, why it's now more important than ever to really be able to choose our state of being, choose our own energetic position is what really comes through to say. It's like we literally stand in these energies and then push them out into the world instead of feeling like we are getting these energies pushed onto us. And as empaths, that can be a challenging experience because oftentimes a lot of us empaths, as a defense mechanism, have learned how to read people so well that we have forgotten how to read ourselves and to be tuned into ourselves, and to the detriment that we've also, I know from my position, lost myself along the way because I was so tuned in to what was always going on around me instead of tuning into, how does Jay feel about this? How does Jay want to go about this? What do I want to do? How do I feel? All those weren't even considerations a while ago, but they are now. And so it is just really important for us all to continue to empower ourselves through these challenging experiences, know that we have the opportunity to do it differently this time. It doesn't have to be how it was in the past. We can choose differently, we can have a different kind of outcome, and we don't have to let that mental roller coaster ride take us for a literal ride, telling us that isn't true, and that we aren't okay, and that we are not good enough, and that we don't have the power, and we can't do it how we want to. We can't empower ourselves to be in the state that we want to be in. Who do you think you are? All that stuff. It's time to be able to know that we are not our thoughts, and we can go beyond our thoughts and have a different experience. Okay, so I'm going to pull off and know that, this is a process, folks. This is not something that we just do in one day. I wish, but no. We got a great space right here by the river. This is awesome. Okay, give me just a second to get the camera out and get out of the car, and then we'll do the meditation. Sorry the camera gets whipped around here, but it's kind of the nature of the beast. Alright. Okay, so we're right here by the river. It is a beautiful day, but right now we're going to go ahead and close our eyes so we can use our imagination to go deeper within and have a connection with ourselves, a conscious connection with ourselves here this morning, this beautiful Monday morning. So let's close our eyes and begin to imagine growing roots from the base of your spine and the bottoms of your feet down into the center of Mother Earth. Yes, and as you're growing your roots down into the center of Mother Earth, becoming consciously aware of your connection to the earth. We are always connected, but we sometimes forget and get separated from that connection because of a belief system, because of a life experience that has severed that conscious connection. So we're bringing our awareness back to that connection right here and right now, using our imagination. We are now growing roots, growing them deeper and deeper down, and as we do that, we are grounding our energy with the earth energy, as well as consciously connecting ourselves with the earth energy. And this is a great opportunity to take a moment to send love and light down your grounding cord, as well as appreciation to Mother Earth, and wait for a response back. And if you hear that excited dog in the distance that is trying to get its owner's attention because it wants off the leash so it can run around, think of the earth being just as excited to connect with you in this way. She's so excited that you are consciously connecting with her. Feel into that excitement. Feel into her love. Feel her hug. Yes, this morning. Feel the embrace. Let's take this moment to give ourselves a big hug as well. And if your mind tells you it's crazy to give yourself a hug, tell your mind today, even though it might be crazy, we're going to do it anyways, because I love myself. Great. Wonderful. All right, so now I would like you to become aware of a personal sun that is blazing within your heart space. And this is a symbol of your divine spark that is within you, as well as the ability that you have to grow that divine spark bigger and bigger. So we're going to grow our personal sun bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're growing it so big that it's growing past our physical body, past our physical bodysuit. We're growing it bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're going to take that personal sun out 33 feet. Yes. And so know that we are within that personal sun. We're in the middle. It is energized from a space and a place that is within our heart space. And this is our God energy, our God forces shining out like a star in every direction, literally creating this reality that we are in. Not only the reality that we are in together, but our own personal realities. It's also what creates our personality, our own gifts and abilities, our uniqueness. Yes, our own perspective, our own way of doing it, our own way of seeing it. Yes. This is also a great space and place to be when we're wanting to tune into ourselves, when we're wanting to feel into our own energy, as well as when we want to charge our own batteries. Yes. Beautiful. All right. So earlier in the show, we talked about the Central Library in Los Angeles. And so we are going to be tuning into that beautiful energy today, but we're going to be doing it virtually. So I would like you to lift off in your personal sun, leaving gravity, time, space, letting that all go. You can fly in your imagination. So I would like you to lift off in your personal sun, and I would like you to head to downtown Los Angeles from wherever you are. And I would like you to hover over the Central Library and the pyramid that I was talking about before, the monolith with a pyramid on top, with the tiled suns on each facet of the pyramid. We are hovering over this space and place. And I would like you to notice this shaft of light that is shining from down in the center of the earth, shining up through the entire library, up all the way out into space. And we are in this tube of light, this shaft of light. Feel into this energy. Feel into the city of angels. Say yes to you. You got this. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you've got this. And sometimes it takes this moment to remember and remind ourselves how powerful we are in our own reality. We are the writers, directors, set designers, the stars, the background. We are every role you can imagine in a movie we are doing it all in our life. And if you have been playing on the sidelines or playing an extra role, it is now time to say yes to your starring role. It is time to say yes to standing in your own light, in your own authenticity, in your own creative expression, whatever that is. It doesn't need to look, and more really shouldn't look like anybody else, or what anything else anybody else is doing. You have your own unique creative expression. It is within you, and it wants out. So we're just going to feel into this energy and have a moment with ourselves. I'm going to stop with the guided part of this meditation and just allow you to be with yourself in this energy as we hover over the city of angels. Wonderful. I'd like you to take this opportunity to give yourself a big hug. Thank yourself, thank your Light Aligned team. Thank all the great beings of light, all the love in the universe, Mother Earth, Father Sky, for being here with us. All the angels of the light. Yes, thank you. Give yourself a big, huge pat on the back. And I would like you now to, in your own personal sun, fly back to wherever you are physically located and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes whenever you are ready. Woo! That was a great one. Yes, I loved it. That was, wow, very energetic. I could definitely feel that one. And I feel like that was really important for us, especially because this week is a big week. I see a lot of forward momentum for all of us. And as the card of the day states, we're all on target. We're all right exactly where we're supposed to be, even if it doesn't feel like it. That's just our mind trying to control things. So we just do some mind work and let that go. And again, remember, we're not our thoughts. Come back into our heart space, come back into our peace, and from there, operate accordingly. So I'd love to hear your feedback. If you did the meditation with me, how that was for you. And now we're going to open it up for a time here. If anybody would like a card of the day, let me know. I will pull a card for you, and then we will wrap up the show. But real quick, I'm going to go grab my water. So, it is beautiful out here. I'm going to take you guys and show you the river a little bit closer. Alright, so it's getting a little toasty, so I want to get back into the shade. I want to thank all of you for tuning in and joining me live this morning. It was a fantastic show. I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. I want to surround all of you with a big, huge giant hug of love. Know that you got this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.